Hi everybody, this is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets, and today I'm going to go through some tips and tricks and show you the camera interface of the new Huawei Mate 20 Lite. This is a stunning phone. I absolutely love the black colour. Black is my favourite colour. This has a 20 megapixel plus 2 megapixel rear camera, and that 2 megapixel does some of the depth tricks, bokeh effects. And on the front, believe it or not, it has a 24 megapixel sensor with a 2 megapixel. So it's got two camera sensors on the front. Now it does have Face ID, and that's working even with the camera blocking the phone. But you can see this display just looks fantastic. It's really vivid, really bright. I've left all the default apps as you see it from when you first boot it up. So you got themes, you can control your themes. It does have music. Now on here you can have the Huawei Hissen sound effects, and when you plug some headphones in, you do get access now to all the different sound effects. So yes, this does have a headphone jack down the bottom, which is great. So here you can have auto. And I've got to say, I was listening to put my Sennheiser HD 598 in here, and on auto mode it was particularly good. You've got 3D auto, natural sound and that sort of stuff, but you can also have, you can control the headset type as well. So lots of fine tuning to get the most out of this. And you can even in standard, if you tick standard, you can go into the equalizer, have your own custom equalizer and mega bass. So worth remembering that. Lots of different options, and that's for wired. So it does show you that it still pays to have a headphone jack. And I can play FLAC quality back on this as well, all sorts, and it works very well. I'll test the loudspeaker. Let's do that now. So we'll just pick a particular sound from here. Let's make sure audio's on loud, and that's so that's pretty loud actually. I've got to say that was much louder than I thought. So good music, good loudspeaker. Does appear to be mono as well, but that doesn't seem to matter in this case. So you can change the themes here, and you've got access to hundreds of different themes once you've logged into Huawei ID. It does come with a few built in as standard, but if you log in you can get access to tons more, and you can completely customize the look of this. It's got all the Google apps here as well, so you've got everything all pre-installed from the Google point of view. If you slide to the right, you've also got the Google sort of feed there. Obviously I don't want that refreshing because you'll see some of my stuff on that. Pretty intense. And then in terms of some of the other apps that included, here you've got the Files app, Tips, Party Mode, where you can link multiple devices and use all the speakers as to play the audio simultaneously across multiple Huawei devices. That's quite handy if you want to bump the sound up. Tools, various different things in the tools, from a sound recorder, does have an FM radio, compass and all that sort of stuff, and obviously the Huawei backup, which works pretty well. Quick photo app, you probably saw that. These are some of the apps that they add. You can uninstall them. There are a few games, again, you can install that, and it adds Facebook. I installed the Send Anywhere app because that's quite useful if you haven't come across that, to send any file to any device across any platform. So just quickly showing you some more tips and tricks. If we nip into the settings, you can lock down your device using the Huawei ID, gives you some cloud backup, and also makes it more secure. Some can't actually try and use your device if it's stolen. You've got all the various network settings in here, which is quite handy. Bluetooth, NFC, printing, all there. Huawei Share, which is great for sending stuff between two different Huawei devices really fast, and also to a computer. That works neat. It's a very clever little system. Apps notifications, fine tuning the different options with apps. App Twin, so depending on what apps you install, it adds them in. So if you have WhatsApp, that'll appear there if you installed WhatsApp. So you can have two versions of the app in there, which is quite handy. You've got lots of battery options here, power saving mode, screen resolution. It works on a smart version here to maximize battery usage. You can have battery percentage, you can change how you want to see that as well, and you've got even more options in terms of what you can do with power usage. So really, fantastic. And I've got to say, I'm easily getting a solid day and a half on this. Very, very impressive. Now on the display, you can change the color temperature, and here you can adjust, so worth noting that if you like to fine tune it. You can change the sleep activity, so we'll just put that for 10 minutes for a minute so we don't get that. Eye comfort, so you can actually have eye comfort, so we can have, we put that on scheduled, so that makes the display easier to read at night, and it's supposed to be a lot better for you. Full screen display, so you can adjust the apps that are needed to be in there. Notch, I mean, why would you, so you can hide it like so. I think that looks pretty ugly. Personally, I prefer it with the notch. Obviously, you may disagree. View mode, so you can make everything smaller or larger on the scaling. It's quite nice. Let's just have it a bit smaller, shall we? So now it's gone a bit smaller, but actually, for the purpose of now, let's just make it bigger so you can see everything a lot easier. Text size, you can adjust that. Quite a lot of different options in here, and lots of tips, as you've just seen, of how you can fine tune it. On the sounds, again, you can change the sound. It's a dual SIM, which is quite handy as well. More sound settings, and again, you can really fine tune everything in terms of that. User and accounts, cloud, smart assistants. So here you've got one-handed options. So you have mini screen, shifting keyboard, motion control. So you can have flip to mute, pick up, and it reduces the ringing tone when you pick up. Raise to ear, raise to answer and make calls. 3-finger screenshot. No, you're not being rude, but you can use that. And you've got some knuckle gestures as well, which work very nicely. If you have the smart cover, you can turn that on or off. Let's just turn it off because I actually haven't got smart cover, and you've got scheduled power on and off to make sure your phone running tip top. In terms of the system navigation, and look, I actually have a system update here. Wow. So I'll do that. I had the phone long, that's good to see. So if you look at the about phone, it's running the Kirin 710. It's got 4 gig of RAM, 64 gig of storage. It's currently on the 1st of July update. But as you can see, I've got a system update. I imagine that will take that to the 1st of August. I will leave a note down in the description to tell you what I did update to. So you've got all that there. One thing you can change is the system navigation. So you can have single key navigation, and that's actually really, straightforward. So if you look here, it shows you how you can use that, and then you can have auto hide navigation. Now I actually quite like this particular option, so I'm going to turn that on. And as you can see now at the bottom, I've just got a wicked whole screen use, and it literally just pops up and you can tap to go home, and it gives you a quick reminder because we've just turned it on. So really quite straightforward. So just go back in there. You've got simple mode for those that need a more simpler, cleaner look. And yeah, I mean, what more do you need? What you can also have, so go back, if you squeeze here, you can bring up the widgets, transitions and settings for the home screen. And in here you can change the home layout in terms of apps. And so I have it as maximum amount of apps to display. You can lock the home screen layout once you've changed everything as you want, so you don't make a mistake. That's quite handy to do. Auto align, badge, app icons, so you've got options whether you want to show those, so you don't, it's a personal or whatever. Home screen loop and the Google feed, you can have that there as well. So plenty of options, and all quite good. Now, one thing you're probably interested in is the camera. Now, the camera, when you look at the camera, we're going to look at the camera and the gallery app, because these two work together, and I'll show you why. So if we jump into the camera app, and you can see straight away there are a number of different options. So you've got various different modes here. You've got portrait mode, and you've got 3D lighting where you can adjust the lighting. If I bring that a bit closer, so if you tap on that, you can do no lighting, soft lighting, buffer. So when you have a face in front of it, you can really adjust how it looks. AR lens, I've probably had the greatest amount of laugh with this, and you can have what's 3D Q emoji. There are different ones. This is my favourite. There is the cat. There's a robot. They're all absolutely a blast, and I'll show you ones I've done myself. You also have effects. You can change the backgrounds, 3D objects, and you can place some of these AR emojis onto a normal picture and actually have this little thing happening in front of you. It works very well. You've got Huawei's superb aperture control, where you can have multiple different devices and you can tap and change the aperture level, focus point, both during, after when you take the photo and after. And when you're in each of the different modes, you can actually get different options in the settings. So what you'll notice if you go into settings here, because I've got AI actually on, so what we need to do here, just go back. If I turn AI off, AI camera disabled, go into settings. Now we can change the resolution, and it gives you 3 options there. So that is all you've got there. I actually quite like the AI on, because you can see I'll show you what happens when you take a photo. It takes 2 photos anyway, and you can go back and in the gallery and actually decide which version you like. So you've got nothing to lose by having on. I actually prefer some of the options on. You've got the assisted grid and various options on the assisted grid as well. You've got mutes, audio control, mirror reflection, that's for the front camera, that option, or when you're doing portraits. Audio control, to use voice touch to capture smiles, object tracking, quite a lot of different options. Here, if you double press volume down button when the screen is off, it can take a quick shot. It's actually better just to have open camera, because then you can frame it quickly and get the right shot without getting too much of a mess. So if you go into video, now we look at the options on video. Here, the maximum video size is 60 frames per second. You do have options for the better efficiency, H.265. What I will say is at 60, you haven't got any stabilization. Stabilization isn't supported at the higher frame rate. It doesn't have 4K, which is what you'll probably noticed. And so more, you've got some of the sort of special modes. Pro mode for manual control. Night, need a tripod for that one. Panorama, light painting, where you can do silky water, star trails, capture the stars. I do like these modes actually, they're very, very nice. Here you've got traffic trails, light, graffiti, star trails, silky water. They are very nice to have, but you do need a tripod or to rest it on something. You can put watermarks, document scan, artist mode. But the AI feature does actually put the camera into some of these modes if it needs to, or alter the modes, which you will see. If you go to Pro mode quickly, you can change the ISO from 50 all the way up to 3200. You've also got shutter speed from 1/4000 all the way to a massive time of, if we go the other way, and I'm going to show you, to 30 seconds. You can do the EV, turn that down a bit. You've got the focus control, manual focus, change focus points, white balance, and it all works very nicely. You've also here controls flash. This here is for scanning a QR code or scanning an object, and then it uses Amazon Assistant to find more information about that. You've got flash, as you can see. Here you can have moving picture enabled. I'm not that fan of that one too much, but you do have that particular option. Now let's actually come out of what you also have, when you're in the portrait mode, you can have various levels of beauty control. Actually, you might find just have beauty on the lower settings. It makes it look more natural, but it does have a lot of fun, and you can have a lot of fun with the AR features on here. So what we're going to now do is go into the gallery. I'm going to look at some of the photos that I have taken, just to give you an idea. So what we'll do, we'll just run through these. So this is with AI on. It's a really nice shot. I love how it's boosted the colours a bit, makes the photo look a bit more interesting. And if you turn AI off, it sort of gives you, that's actually, it wasn't, you know, it was in shadow a bit, and that's how it looked. But as I said, when you're sharing it, you don't need to edit it. It just makes everything look a bit nicer. But what you can do is something to be aware of are some of the editing features. So you can rotate, you can crop, you can add filters. It's got loads of different filters and they all work really nicely. So you've got nostalgia, you've got shadow, good selection of filters. The splash is a feature that I think people don't realise you can do. So now it's made the photo black and white, but if you just tap on the green, now you've just got the green grass that has now been highlighted, and that is really quite neat. So, and you can change that. You can blur parts, you can do proper adjustments from brightness. So it's a really good in-depth photo editor. It's a really good photo that has quite a number of different adjustments, and you know, people often overlook this, but it is really useful. Now, if you scroll through, it just shows some more photos. This was going in at the church thing. Again, it's really good detail. I love the, there you go, detail indoors, low light. So again, if I just turn the AI off, you can see it's a bit more realistic. And actually, between the two, probably actually AI off looks better on that one. Give you some more options here going behind. So this is me. This is you know, using portrait. That's pretty nice. Quite happy with that. That's using where I've got the full bokeh and full beauty control, a bit too over the top. This is a beautiful shot, absolutely beautiful. The colouring, everything that's done is fantastic. And actually, I edited this further in Adobe Lightroom just to see what I could do with it, and what, because the colours are good in the first place and the quality is good. What came out was really impressive. So now we have some of the AR features. And here again, you know, you can put it on your face as well. I actually quite like that one, rather bizarrely. And then you have some of the other sort of crazy AR effects. You can do stuff like this. And it does that for 10 seconds, and there's other options there. It goes to the camera, and if we use aperture mode, so I've just taken a photo in the wide aperture mode, gone into the gallery, hit that icon there, that tells you it was shot in wide aperture. Now, if you tap on the box in the background, you can make that the focus point, and you can actually change the focus point across whatever you happen to have, and then you can actually adjust the blur, the bokeh. So you can do 0.95 or up to f16 where everything's in focus. Let's make the actual aftershave bottle actually the point that's in focus. Let's drop that down to about f3, blurs the background. Then what you can do, you can hit the filter. Now my favourite here is monochrome, where it makes the background black and white. And in certain, because there isn't much background on this photo, but if you did, you'd have a colour thing at the front, everything behind it black and white, and you can have different effects depending what you want. But there we have it. This is the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. That was going through all the tips and tricks on the camera, and I hope you enjoyed it. This is Gavin from Gavin's Gadgets. Catch you guys soon. Bye for now.